Hello, everybody, and welcome. Even if you're just watching the replay, we're so glad that you're here. And I can promise that I'm gonna make a lot of sense because it looks like my tongue is already acting up and my brain is not connected to it. But I have the lovely Giselle, the other way around, Madwitch, who I absolutely adore, and I linked her channel down below. You should do yourself a flavor that too, but favor as well, and go ahead and subscribe. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say that I forgot to say, before we started talking, that I watched the Cluedo. How do you say that?
Oh yeah,
Cluedo. Yeah,
it's called.
That was so fun.
Cluedo.
Oh, okay.
That
sounds
typo.
So weird.
It's a total typo. It should have been Cluedo, and it's actually
okay.
And I put it up there, and I typo. It's Cluedo. So now my husband just goes around singing Cluedo all day by Phil Collins. You do that, don't you?
Why not? Yeah, but I mean, I totally read the title and didn't realize. So I think because I speak typo, it's not a big problem. But I'm going to film a version for myself because I was this is something that we could play with people if I had anyone around me who loved tarot, but I don't have. So
I know. I literally did it the first time around with the Dark Mansion.
Yeah, you need to post that.
It really, I just loved it. But I wanted so hard for because I knew she wouldn't do it, and she didn't have the other decks, but it lends itself. I mean, it's a perfect choice. And I think there's probably, when you start hunting around, there's more. But the Bohemian Gothic, I mean, oh my goodness, that'll give you nightmares.
But the Dark Mansion, even the name it's kind of in. And I was thinking about using the Dark Wood, so I wouldn't use the same, even though it's gonna be a different case. But because I have the Dark Mansion.
When are you gonna do it? Well, you will do it, definitely. You'll do it.
Yeah. Oh well, absolutely. Like I want to play around because I love crime and creating my own little crime story with tarot is just amazing. So I'm gonna do that for sure.
I saw Nightshade Tarot, who I haven't seen for ages, and she's just done it as well. So it's kind of slowly building up momentum.
Oh, I'm gonna share it on my community tab so people can see that and maybe they can play along because I totally didn't realize. So I totally thought that the king is going to be the killer. I was like, it was the Knight of Swords. It's like your guilty conscience keeping you up at night. You're the killer, and then it wasn't. Okay, but before we lost ourselves in the conversation, let's say hi to a few people. We have Richie here with Longman Tarot. And then we have Justin Michael, who just did a lovely, wonderful review of my fellow Hungarian creator's deck, Gergő. This is how you say his name. It's a Marseille collection video, and Justin was so lovely. So please check that one out, everyone, if you're interested in Marseille. And then we have Amelie. And we also have Micah. It's been a while I've seen you and you haven't messaged me. So, just saying. Hi, Claire. How are you doing? Yeah, Wildwood Tarot. That's a good one as well.
She did use it. She sent me some pictures this afternoon.
Oh.
And actually, it worked really well.
Interesting. I mean, if you think about it, anything can work.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Dungeons and Dragons tarot as well because it's like it's a quest. Oh, I have it here because I was thinking. But hi, Ben. Yes, you were close. Like I said, you were close with his name. Yeah. Okay. So so today's conversation is just pretty much an excuse for me to have Giselle on my channel. There, I said it. That was my, all my intention was I wanted Giselle on my channel, and I was like, haha, I can get her through the Witchy decks.
Well, I've known you for quite a few years, and
we've never
spoke. And now I feel as if I've known you for so long,
Yeah,
and yet,
I know. I mean, we would be really good real life friends if we
yes,
would live in the same
yeah.
woods.
But I'm terrible, and I do apologize, because a lot of people will know that I kind of took quite a long time away from YouTube, and I
Yeah,
wasn't
no.
posting videos, and I wasn't really watching YouTube. So I'm slowly getting back, and yeah, I'm kind of refreshed and ready for, there's so many new people that I'm trying
Yeah,
to get to know. So it's nice
yeah,
to be here.
and
Thank you.
yeah, and don't ever feel you need to apologize because you needed time away, so that's completely fine. And I'm just glad that we kept in touch, because I was sad to see you not posting, and I'm so glad you're
Oh,
posting, because
oh,
like I
bless you.
said, I really enjoy your content, so that's why you're
Thank
here.
Thank you, darling. That's really kind. Yeah, I mean, I have a
Get
collection
better.
of Tarot de Marseille, but
Oh.
you know, that's, and in fact, I've done videos way back on my tarot, but I'm not in Justin Michael's league, but I do
Oh
have a
yeah, no
few.
one is. I mean, honestly, no one
No,
is. Justin Michael is his own league, so.
well, yeah, and I'd love to see someone do Cluedo with a Tarot de Marseille deck. So who knows?
Oh,
Maybe he'll
that
take up
would
the
be
challenge.
interesting. That would be interesting. Yeah. And Michael got COVID, which sucks. So I hope
Oh
you're,
gosh, that is.
yeah.
Well, I hope we're going to cheer you up while you're hopefully
Yeah,
resting.
we do our best. Yes. Hi, Kristen Lewis. How are you? Kristen Lewis has a wonderful rune deck, Oracle, by the way. And
Oh,
she needs to come on my channel as well, because we haven't talked about her deck on my
oh,
channel yet. So,
yeah,
okay.
that would be.
So, yeah, I was never into witchy decks per se, but I find myself using Celtic themed decks this time of year, and I get a wee bit witchy, and I think that's a good segue into what do we even think about a witchy deck is, because I think it's already a question that you can talk about for hours, but so
Yeah,
let's start there, and then we will
yeah.
see. What do you
Well,
think? What is it for you?
well, I was it when you mentioned it. Of course, the first thing I went was rummaging. So I've got a box of stuff, but then it sort of occurred to me, well, okay, what are we saying? Are we saying decks that use the word witchy, or are we saying, as a witch, what decks do we work with? So I kind of realized I had quite a lot, but it depends whether you want to use the word. So this is the witch's tarot, but it's just the major arcana, and it's a lovely little deck. But I mean, I love the backs. This was a gift, I think, from the lovely Jamie. I mean, it's completely. Don't know why I didn't get this out for my Halloween kind of.
Yeah, should I embiggen you? Maybe we can see more if you're
Oh
on
no! Don't make me
solo.
bigger. Oh God, she's made me bigger. Don't make me bigger.
Sorry, it was a Maze technology.
It's This is
Maybe it's better.
this is. I mean, this is called the Witch's Tarot. So
I don't think I
I don't
know
know
this.
whether you whether so that's one deck. I won't show. I would be here all day. Please make me little.
Okay.
It's
Welcome back.
I'm actually quite shy, believe it or not. I was just going to see if I could find out, a bit more about it to share it with you.
Oh yeah,
This is
and
the
I
burning.
need to share this while you're looking for something, because Justin Mike is funny, because I'm a whole witch, but my favorite witch is a sandwich, and I appreciate humor like that. And
I
we have
don't
Tony
blame you.
here. Hi there. Thank you so much for being here. See, a lot
Hello,
of people
Tony.
came out to see you.
Oh, bless. It's nice to know some people and get to know to others. I mean, another witchy deck that, well, I think everybody, although it's not really a tarot deck, will know
Ooh.
Terry Floss.
Hmm.
Do you know Terry Floss?
I know the name.
Oops. Her deck
Doesn't
is
she have?
awesome.
Doesn't she have
This
an
isn't this
oracle
is
deck that
this is this is it. This is the
this?
oh, maybe
Oh, okay.
Tony will remember, because my memory is not good. It's something long, like spirits and
is it the one that was indie on MPC but came out mass market recently?
I don't
Or
know
is
if it's
that
mass
some?
market. You might be
Oh,
right.
then
It's
it's
called. Oh, what's it called, guys? You all know this deck. I'm sure it's spirits and earthly souls or something
yeah.
like that.
I think
It's
it's
got
that, but I can't be sure. So, but
I.
Google
But
will help us
is it
later. Ah, oh,
is
we
it
have
a
the name.
witchy deck? If
Earthly
you
souls
just
and
what's it called?
spirits,
So it could be. That sounds about right, actually.
or ghost could be both.
It's just it's one of those mouthfuls that I could never get my so I just stuck with
Yeah,
Terry Floss because it's her artwork. The
yeah. I
Crystal
think
Vision.
it's just beautiful.
Do you have
Crystal
that deck?
vision. No, I don't.
This is an
No,
older
I don't.
one, I
So
suppose.
when you think about the commercial version of Witchy, this is what you think about.
I think when I think, I see it again. I think I'm a witch, so every deck I
Yeah,
work with must be witchy. But there are specific decks that are witchy, and I've got a few others. But I think this has got a very witchy vibe. I think a lot of
yeah.
witches have used this deck. It's
I
got
will. I will.
dragons or she.
Okay, okay. I will check it out because I've seen the deck on Lisa Papez's channel for sure.
It's got some nice imagery. This is one of the few I've got backups of actually.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I think I cut the borders off this one. So I got myself a backup and it
Yeah,
wasn't expensive.
I think this is the one that Simon showed that he uh, someone trimmed it for him. I think.
I've definitely got a video up on this
Yeah. Okay.
because it was one I worked with, and I'd say I don't know what other people think, but I think it's quite a witchy deck. But it's not called a witchy deck, so
Yeah.
it's one a witch works with. But I have got some called witchy decks, so everybody probably knows the Witch's Tarot.
Yeah. I mean, I know the name. I don't have it, but
Ellen Duggan. I think where is it? It's here. Hold on.
oh no, it's okay.
So
I'm checking the comments.
I edged mine. Oh, they've got hit by a hurricane.
Oh.
That's hard. That's
Oh.
that's not good. So this is the Witch's Tarot. And I think a lot of people like this kind of artwork. I'm sorry.
Is it
Very
it's
shiny
digital?
deck.
Is it a digital artwork?
Yes.
Uh
It's very, very shiny. And
oh, it was the. I know. So sorry. Yeah, sorry. It's just I just saw the hurricane. You saw the comment sooner than I did, so I was like, "What hurricane?"
the one card I cannot stand in this deck, and
Is the devil?
no, what is
No,
him?
it's not.
He looks like the guy from the guy over here that does the program. You're fired. I can't think what his name is now, and I can't stand that image. I think it's because it's so. Somebody will know. Tony will know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Being a UK dragon for you,
Ah,
but it
look
is
at
called
that.
the Witch's Tower, and it is obviously Ride Away.
Oh,
Sorry, they're quite.
can you read that or should I read it?
Please
I
do.
just okay. So yes, the Witch's Tarot was the first deck I really could work with many years ago. Oh, come on now. I love the karma card in that deck. I mean, Beth likes to pretend that she's old. I mean, no one believes her. Dragon. Oh, Piers Morgan. Seriously. I hope not.
No, not Piers Morgan.
Even I know who Piers Morgan is.
Why can't I remember the name of it? It's he used to be on Dragon's Den, and then he went off and did his own program, and everyone will be shouting this guy's name at me. But the minute
Tony
I get
doesn't like the Dragon's Den, so I don't think she knows.
oh bless her. No, well I because she's obviously UK based. I
Yeah.
thought I might be able to find the karma card, but it
See?
is digital artwork and it is shiny, quite
Shiny is
shiny.
good. I mean, we don't need to hate on Shiny. Shiny is only a problem if you're, taking pictures and making videos. But in
Yeah,
real life, it's not a problem.
no, exactly. And it does shuffle well, and I did edge it. And actually, to be fair to this, the book is really, really good. And I
Oh,
think, if anything, the book is probably the star. But would you like me to carry on showing a few more witchy decks?
of course. I mean, I will never stop you. I
The
don't think
witch's
anybody
wisdom.
wants you to stop. Oh,
Do you not? Do you know? Do you have this one? No,
no.
maybe
I
not.
mean, you're pulling, like, I only have the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I made.
Yay!
It this
I love
this
that.
was my this was my very first pouch, so the thread is really like ugly and everything because I
Not
didn't
ugly.
figure out the always this because I didn't figure out the blanket stitch just yet, so I wasn't sure how to do that. It became better. I think this is so much nicer. I
I
mean,
think
it's
you're.
actually
I
pretty.
love them. I Mine are so higgledy piggledy. Um, they're just
It's
crazy, and they keep.
I love
I want.
yours
They keep devolving. I mean, they're
because
just fabric
Ellen
collage, and
Sugar, maybe Ellen Sugar. There's a
that's
name.
it. Thank you, Alan
Okay,
Sugar.
okay.
Oh, it
I
looks
don't
just
know
like
him.
him.
Oh, cool.
Just looks like him. But this is this is that the witch's wisdom, which is very, very different
I
to
don't have
your.
that, and I was honestly ready to pull the plug and fork out the money because prices are really high right now because our currency is every day
Yeah.
it's an all-time low for it. So it's just horrible and I don't know what's gonna happen, but whatever. But then I saw and I found a video by the creator Phyllis. I
Oh,
don't know
I
her
haven't
name.
seen
Who
it. I
created
haven't
the
seen
deck?
it. Phyllis
Isn't it Phyllis?
Curot.
Yes, and she posted on her own channel in August that the
Oh,
big version is going away and there's going to be a smaller version of the deck actually at some
oh,
point. And I'm
okay.
like, I can't wait because I really want that deck, but I have tiny hands and I couldn't work with that deck. So I would need to chop off a lot from the artwork if I wanted to work with it. So I still need to email Hey House and ask if the guidebook is going to be the same. But
I mean,
it's not.
but the structure of this deck is different. So the majors are different, which you
Yeah,
probably
I
already know.
know. Yeah.
And yes, I do use this deck. What I actually do with it, because I have so many decks, is I
Yeah.
actually pull a card from this deck and monthly, and
Oh,
also from the Green Wheel Oracle, which for some reason I've married these two together. I don't know
oh, interesting.
why. So I mean, I have, you can see behind me a lot of my Oracle cards, and I pull them one each day of a month. So I kind
Oh,
of like to try and get an overall aspect for the month. But
oh,
so I
okay.
pull this deck. It's lovely linen feel, and it's got that new book smell. I could not so much now. I'm sorry, I'm sniffing my deck, but
I mean, there are deck sniffers out there, so I'm not one of them, but I understand everybody has their own thing. So, if you like to do
there's a
that,
type of book that you can just smell the. I don't know. I know it's
I don't know.
embarrassing, but
I mean, I don't like the new book smell, so maybe that's why I'm
no,
always like, ugh,
it's
thank you,
it's
but
a
no, thank you.
lineny smell. But I
Yeah.
edged mine, and it's I mean, it is beautiful. There's no
I mean,
question.
if Hay House is doing a smaller version and they're not including the book in its full content, then I think that's a very asshole-ish thing to do because I don't want to buy the big one, you know, for a lot of money, and then buy a smaller one to actually work with the deck. So I
The deck
hope they are
doesn't
not doing that.
have. Oops, I'm gonna. You know, this is when they all end up all over the floor.
Yes.
They don't have the pitch. Of course, it's the artwork is by Daniel Barlow, which is why I did marry those up. But there's no pictures in the book, so I can't see why they wouldn't give you a full book. That would be really sad if they didn't do
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I think because the deck is so different, they kind of have to, because otherwise it's not a usable deck. So I'm really hoping
It's
that
not.
they're
No,
not gonna be like, oh, figure it out for yourself, because that would be an asshole thing to do. So
you
yeah,
can't, because the majors are completely different, and
yeah,
um, I'm probably a bit controversial even saying this, but I
no,
do find it
okay.
quite sad when you get a deck that is not the run of the mill, and you have to buy the deck separately, the book separately. I find that really frustrating, to be honest.
Same.
And I think it just annoys me.
Especially if, yeah, especially if the deluxe version is going away, you know, and will they just put out the book separately, and then I have to buy that if I want to understand the deck? That would, I don't know. I understand that they want to make money, but
But
I
you
hope
can't.
not.
Yeah, I mean, an issue
I hope not.
with Tarot de Marseille, it's fine because, you know, it is what it is. But if you're going to rearrange a deck or you're going to create something new and you
Yeah.
don't include a book with it, and that's got to be bought separately, I'm gonna think twice now, because I've got such an array of books. And that,
Yeah.
you know, it's the same thing with the out of print decks. Don't even get me started on that.
I
The
actually want to
tarot,
do, yeah, I
go
want to
on.
do a few, I want to do a few lives with people with out of print decks, because I think that there's such a shame regarding, you know, showing off your out of print decks, because oh, people can get it, so what? But I want to see them. So I was thinking about asking people like Justin Michael. He doesn't know that, because I was just thinking about this this afternoon, that, you know, I'm gonna ask people like him who has a like a really beautiful collection to, you know, come on my live and show off some decks that nobody can buy, because we
I
should
know.
enjoy seeing those, you know, like not just be like, oh, I can't buy it, I don't want to see it, like thanks for showing an out of print deck, like
I know. I have
I
a
want to
box
see
of my
them.
out of print decks. I have a box with my out
I
of
mean,
print decks.
you can come back on that, you know, out
When
of print decks
when
chat if you want to.
I couldn't, when I used to go away, I got, for a while I got really anal, and I have this massive holdall with all my tarot decks, and then I'd have my little box with all my Tarot de Marseille, and then on top of that all my out of print decks, and my husband's like, for pity's sake, I'm not we're only going for a weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got to have my decks.
Yeah. And yes, Gerald and Sandra is going to talk about the Tarot Vampires. I think that's the, yeah, Tarot Vampires. I think that's the title. You know, that out of print, really famous
My
vampire
husband's
deck.
got a copy in a box,
Ooh, in a box.
unopened. We went
Why?
years ago to Glastonbury, and they were
Oh,
loads of them for £7.
the amount of people that are going to have a heart attack right
Robert
now.
and Play.
Oh,
And
the
I keep
Vampire
saying
Tarot.
to him, if you're not going to open it, let me have it. Let me have it.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I have a couple of really cool decks, vampire decks. So I'm not bothered, because the one that
I'm not bothered, but I want it.
because I would open it. I would just have to open it. So who's got what's it? Anytime I have a few out of print decks. Gerard, how did you get hold?
Yeah. I think Gerald bought the tarot, the Vampire Tarot. It's the Robert M deck, Robert M plays deck. I think
Right.
he said it recently that he It was an like an eBay deal or something like that.
And he got it.
Yeah,
I
and
would
he's very
like
proud of
my own
himself.
copy. My husband said to me at the time, "Do you want a copy of it?" I went, "No." There you go.
Decisions we regret, right?
But I did get my other one, which is I haven't got it in front of me. It's over there. I showed it on my channel recently when my spooky deck. So I feel
Oh,
okay because it's a French artist, and I like it. But one day maybe I'm going to rip that cellophane off that box.
ooh.
So yeah, but the Tarot of the Old Path might be another one that you're interested in. Does anybody know that deck?
Yeah. Beth is saying that then there's your retirement if you get your hands on that deck. And honestly, yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I want to retire now. This one is really quite special. I don't
Good
know
luck with
if
that.
this is out of print. It's old, but it is lovely because it's the book again, to be fair. But I will just show. I mean, you can tell by looking at it, kind of the age of it. It is really lovely. I would call this a witchy deck.
What is that?
It's called Tarot of the Old Path.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think I
Um,
even heard about it.
oh, well, there you go. Then at least I'm bringing something. Look at this guy.
Oh, Justin always wanted that one.
Well, I got this secondhand, which is kind of how I don't know what he thinks about it, but I love the oops, bits of, I like the book because the book gives you not just a description of the card, but it also adds other bits of information about what you're seeing and what that means, in like some of them do nowadays, which I really like. Decks are for using and
And
enjoying.
enjoying. If you're just gonna sit them on a shelf in rubbing, you need to give it away.
Oh yeah, but
Show
Tony,
this
you're
to your
running a
husband.
collection now. How easy are you going to find that when you've got your collection?
Are we losing? Debbie, you need to update me. Are we losing this week again? Because I think we lost every game except one this season. So I haven't even watched any because I'm like, I can't be bothered. I'm a Patriots fan as well, and this season sucks.
Right.
It's
Okay.
it's American football, so like.
Oh,
Hey.
okay. Right. Sorry, I'm very old. I don't know what that is. I
I
didn't
mean,
know what
I've
that
been
was.
I've been a fan for 15 years now, so it's been a while, but I
So
enjoy I enjoy
basically,
American
you
football.
should be watching football, not talking to me.
No. I mean, I tried watching it, but my usual illegal ways weren't working last week. So I was like, because I can't just watch it on TV because, I'm not watching it with Hungarian commentators because the two main guys who commented NFL games here, one of them is an absolute Patriots hater, and I don't want to listen to a game where one of the guys is like, ugh, they have the ball again, blah, 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 stuff like that. Like, I don't need that. So I
I
stopped
would
watching it.
love to get into this. I've never been into football. So my husband used to watch a lot of Arsenal play, but I'm not really into anything. I'd
I mean, I
rather be
used to
doing
watch Chelsea. I was supporting Chelsea for a while.
right.
Manchester United before that.
Well, when I first met my husband, it was his birthday, and I couldn't get him an Arsenal cake, so I got him a Man U one because it was red, and apparently that wasn't.
Ooh. That's
So,
not a good thing.
but
Yeah.
I would like to come back to Tony's pot because I'm really interested because I've been watching Tony's channel and I've really
Yeah.
been loving it. She was completely new to me. I didn't know her channel at all, and it's really interesting. I started, I suppose, as a collector of tarot, and I have amassed. And there was a video I watched. Somebody commented on a really old video of mine. I think asked a question. I had to physically go back watch it because I couldn't remember.
Oh yeah,
And
it
I looked
happens.
at my shelves. I know you want a video of that as well, But I looked at my shelves and I'm like to my husband, oh my goodness, there was just a few decks on each of these shelves, and now it's like you don't. I can't.
Everywhere, yeah.
But the problem is, like, I have all these decks and I love them all, and I am working with them, and because I stopped buying now, I'm starting to work with them more, which is really nice. Which, but
Which, yes, exactly.
when you when you start looking at different witchy decks, where do you stop? I mean,
Yeah, I
there are
mean,
more.
anything can be a witchy deck. And what I was thinking about is, for example, something like the Supernatural Tarot. I don't know if you know that one.
I've heard good and bad about that, actually. Was
I
it
this
Tony had it
this
on her channel as well?
Yeah, I mean, we have an ongoing, little conversation with Tony because when I got it, I was like, this is a deck that I love to hate because it could be an amazing deck, but they went lazy on the pips, and I'm like, every time that I'm using it, I get angry because I see the potential, and it's
Oh,
like, you
Hocus
didn't do
Pocus.
it.
I've heard Jenna was saying Hocus Pocus when she showed it was
Ah,
another one.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I mean, I'm gonna show you my favorite thing to hate about this deck is the Pentacles. Like, because some minors are pips, but some are illustrated, so it's like you do either or, like, don't mix it, because this is like, for example, the Four of Wands for bones, and I'm like, yay, thanks, but it's not as bad as, honestly. Just give me a second, I'm gonna freaking show you the Pentacles, because I'm
I
the
totally
most,
agree
and
with
it has such a weird cardstock. It
does
sticks
it?
together, it in clamps, and I can't shuffle, and but the guidebook is so good, the characters that they picked for certain cards are so good that I'm so mad that it's not been done properly, and I'm like, how could you do that?
Tony
So
says that you love it more than she does, but she just loves Jensen.
yeah, I mean,
I
Jensen
watched
Ackles is,
Supernatural. I have actually watched that whole series, but
oh,
it wouldn't. I don't like these decks that come out. It's like somebody gave me The Hobbit, and I can't stand it really. It sits in a drawer.
like, what the actual fuck is this? Like, copy pasted Pentacles.
Ouch! That's not
Yeah,
good, is it? So
no, and
but
I'm
that
just
is that
like,
mass
"Ugh."
produced then? Is that a mass
Yeah,
produced then?
it's
Ooh.
an inside edition, and inside edition is getting better at. Yeah, I was like, before I bashed the, like, company, it is inside edition. They are getting better at it because I can't remember which. There was one that I've seen recently. I can't remember which deck, but it was fully illustrated. It was still illustrated pips, but they actually did the pips correctly. There's
See,
something on the card.
it's a bit of a one that I am
This.
conflicted with because I love Tarot de Marseille, which is obviously not illustrated pips. And you learn the numerology, if you like, that way.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't do that for some reason. Hidden Realm.
Oh,
It's a Fey deck of mine, and I'm still drawing. Like, I still put a wall between my Fey and my Witch decks, but I think at some point they're gonna merge, because how I look at the Fae, it's kind of an extension of nature. It's a manifestation of nature
absolutely,
that's
yeah.
there to protect nature, to actually have a conversation, or connection with the humankind, with humans.
Yeah.
That's why Fae is there. So
Mine's
I
out on
kind of think,
my Fae altar. I,
yeah,
I love it. It's a beautiful deck. It does read very well. But coming back to the pips, I think the problem is I went back to Tarot de Marseille because I wanted to learn to read pips and how numerology came in, and
yeah,
then I really came away from RWS. So if I get a deck that's a Rider Waite clone, it's really no use to me now. So
yeah,
your deck is a pip deck in a way, like having a Tarot de Marseille, only you've got the cool guys in the majors. So, I mean, everybody, I've heard this, people are berating these decks like Hocus Pocus because they are coming out with these pips, which I think are lazy pips, because they're not
Yeah.
doing it because they're Tarot de Marseille. They're doing it because they really don't want to put the time in to create it. But
Yeah.
it's hard. I have a big collection of RWS, but I don't want to read that way. I prefer Tarot de Marseille.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid that as soon as I go down the more witchy path, I'm gonna just be like, I don't want to read with all the decks that I have in my collection, because I'm like, the
I
fuck am
know.
I doing? It's like, oh.
It's really hard because you start out, you don't know anything, and I still don't
Yes,
know anything.
and you buy a bunch of decks.
But you love the artwork, and
Yes, I
without
do.
those, I wouldn't have got where I've gone. But I chose, and then you include Thoth,
Haven't
and
started with thought yet, but it's on the menu at some point. But yeah,
she sees
I don't know.
witchcraft
It's
as very yeah, and earthy. Yeah,
okay.
it absolutely.
It's kind of one of the things that is really gatekeep. How do you say that as a word? There are a lot of people gatekeeping witchcraft, because I remember about a year or two ago, I was like, it sounds very interesting, like being a witch and doing spells, and like I was really curious. And what do you do when you're curious? You Google it. How do you know that you're a witch? And then there was all those videos that, oh, if you like to do this and that, if you're always in sync with the moon, then you're a witch. And I was like, I never know what the hell the moon is doing. So I was like, I must not be a witch then. And I was kind of sad, but I was like, this is something that you must have been, born with it, kind of with commercial side. But that's such a stupid thing, because you can start a practice, doesn't matter when, but there's a lot of gatekeeping, because you
Yeah,
need to be so you need to be, like outside under the moon all the time, and in sync with the weather. I don't even know, like all those bullshit things that I'm like, I would love to, but I'm just not.
no, I mean, if you have followed me for long enough in the
Yeah.
beginning, my
Not
craft
in real life, just so
my,
people know I'm not a stalker.
no, but if you look at my channel, if I evolved, and I evolved very quickly. And there are times when you think, oh, maybe I'll take this down, or maybe I don't like this, or whatever. But when I look back, I think, well, my grandchildren, my witchlings, wouldn't, if I take that away, they'll not have that. And
Yeah.
I think it's important that you don't feel that you can't I think it's okay. I don't like it when I hear somebody go, I'm a hereditary witch or something, because
Yeah.
what does that mean? What does it
I
mean?
don't even,
It basically means that what they think is that they
they
are, and you're not.
have a
And
right to be a witch or something like that, because they
I
have a
don't know.
lineage, like,
I embrace
it's,
the craft.
yeah. And it's kind of like, oh, my ancestors were burned in
Yeah.
Salem, so I have the right to be a witch. And I'm like, good for you, I guess. I don't know, but like,
No, it is. I think, but I think if when you follow the path, you just get into.
yeah.
I can't say I've had any real backlash, but I
Yeah.
think that it doesn't bother me. It's not a religion for me. I think witchcraft
Yeah.
generally has a much bigger voice now than it's ever had. And tarot is very much a part of it. It's the two kind of merge, don't they? You've got Tarot Tube, this
Yeah.
it's huge Tarot Tube. But I think there's a Witchy Tube as well, and they kind of converge. And I don't think it matters if you don't know what moon phase it is, because
It
everybody's on a
shouldn't.
different part of their journey, and they've got to learn. And unless you were lucky enough to have an old person, I say old person, but somebody who gave you the
Yeah,
information,
exactly. I
you've
had
got to learn.
nobody here. Yeah.
So
I mean,
a lot darn dark to be moon bathing for the next six
yeah.
months at least.
Same. I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh, the moon is there, it's so beautiful, and I'm like, I really. But all I know is that when it's full moon, nobody can sleep in my family. That's the only thing that I know. So,
Yeah, I'm the
you
same.
know,
I, to be honest,
we
I
turn into
do.
werewolves, I guess.
I do a dark moon ritual with Hecate, and I do a full moon. Not, I say ritual. It's not even a ritual. It's more of a devotional with Isis, and that's me honoring those particular times. But there are, you know, other people who don't work with the dark moon. They call it the new moon. And I was watching Jessica and the moon, and she did a lovely conversation. Actually, did a lovely talk on the different dark and the new moon, because some people struggle with that whole uh, name change, and it's very different for me, the dark moon and the new moon, whatever. But not everybody does. Everyone works differently. So you know, I think you just do you and enjoy doing that and have fun with it. Why does everything have to be so serious? Why can't we just, you know, I'm the craziest mad witch ever. I'm usually outside in the woods with my flipping up to my eyes in brambles, or flipping hay sticking and grass sticking out my hair. You know, I don't care. That's what makes it fun for me, I suppose. So, anyway, I
Yeah.
found another witchy deck for you. Well, I
Oh,
think it
cool.
is Tarot
Ooh.
de la Nuit.
Oh, I know that one. I mean, I looked at it and didn't get it, but at least I know it. And Tony said, I was told to look at palms, tea leaves, and how to dose by Roman Catholic. I don't know what that is because I'm not familiar with the
Wow,
English terms for, you know,
Roman
Catholic.
Catholic. That's really interesting. I mean, there's a crossover if ever you had one. I mean, wow.
I mean,
I'd love to learn tea leaves. You'll have to show us,
I
Tony.
mean, I bought the, I don't have it here, the Tea Leaves Oracle, which has like 200 cards, circular cards, by the
200
way.
cards.
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
think I've seen that
it's too
one.
much. It's too much. I can't work with it. So at
Yeah,
this point, I'm like, what am I supposed to? I'm like, because it's too much, and you're supposed to put them in a bag and shuffle it that way and pull cards, but that's just doesn't work for me. I like overhand shuffling. I need that feeling to have all the cards in my hand, but you know, it's not something because it's like a piece of salami. How am I supposed to like hold that? You can't. So it's like, honestly,
I
it's like.
I can't read palms or tea leaves. I did get a couple of books on it, but it's a bit like Lenormand. You know, how many different systems do I need to study? You know, I'm quite old. How am I supposed to find the time for all these decks? I don't know.
One of the reasons why I want to be a vampire. I need the time. I need the time to learn and read all of the things that I want. So,
Yeah, well,
but
that's fine. But if somebody turned me into a vampire now, well, I'm old and basically
I mean,
it's a bit
you could
late
be a
now.
wise vampire. Like, isn't that cool?
I want to be a young. I need to go back and be a young one.
I mean, I need a month to get in shape. So you know, I will be a beautiful
Yeah,
one. So you know, I
yeah.
need a better body for a vampire body. But
It's
just
too
give me a
late for me,
moment,
isn't
then
it?
I'll be ready.
And maybe I'll have to be a werewolf.
Oh, then I don't know if can we be a friend if you know if I'm a vampire or a werewolf because
Hmm.
usually those are conflicting areas
Well,
in
I'm
life.
already a she-wolf. I don't see a
Ah,
problem with that. You know, it's got to
yeah,
be. I'll be. Yeah. No, I think
we'll
there's room.
figure it out. I think
We'll
we,
figure it
it's a
out.
new era. We can be. I decided we can be
Well,
friends.
there's no rules. No, there's no
Exactly,
rules.
exactly. And by the way, I did a palm reading course at some point, so I learned how to read it. But to be honest, when I did it, it ended up with. Kind of an initiation and calling in angels for protection and stuff like that. That's how the
Yeah.
course ended because this is how it was told. But it, to be honest, it freaked me out so much because it kind of sounded like if I don't do the whole ritual, if I don't ask for protection, something is
Yeah.
bad is going to happen. So I got frightened and I didn't use the whole thing because I was like, this is too Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to risk things. That was before I started with tarot. And
yeah, I didn't get it out. The Green Witch Tarot is probably the very best one for linking all the flowers and what is it? It goes through everything, doesn't it? Anything that's symbolic in the cards, it is then animals and plants. It tells you what it is in the book, which is a really good learn. Somebody gifted me that deck, actually. I was really grateful.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, when you get a gifted deck, it is particularly nice,
isn't it? Yeah, especially when you get one about the Celtic, like oracles and trees and whatnot from a certain person.
That was given to me. That was somebody gave that to me, and I already had it, and that's
cool.
how we met. So it was a really nice. It was a nice time to meet up. It was, that YouTube was just. I think it just kind of exploded in the tarot community at that point. So I think I was really lucky to meet you, to be honest.
Yeah, and it was at the beginning of my, journey, and I was like, oh, Celtic trees, ooh, exciting, and but I wanted to say that, I just had a conversation about the Green Witch Tarot with Dan Michelle from Bow Tarot, because we were talking about the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. And she said that, she doesn't really use that deck because she has the Green Witch. And I was like,
that's interesting.
I know. I look at it, and now everyone is like, oh, that's a lovely deck. That's a lovely. And I'm like, do I need to get that at some point?
Because I think the book, I think out of the two, I would go with the Green Witch.
Really?
If I had to choose.
Interesting.
Because it's quite, I don't know.
Oh, that's so lovely. Sedan is so lovely. People are so nice in the tarot community, honestly.
And people are very generous with not only gifting. I've been gifted some lovely decks and some amazing people, but I've also made some lovely friendships on YouTube.
Same, absolutely.
You do meet people, and I think when I want to do a video at some point on smaller YouTube providers, because I think it's quite important. But you understand the process when you're doing videos.
It was, yeah. I mean, I planned on doing something like that, but then life was like, and I was because things are happening in the world. So
this is a nice one.
But okay, I'm putting back the Green Witch on my book depository, non-existent, existing.
You might like this one as well, but I don't know. The book is just a little
Witchcraft Tarot. I've seen it, but I don't have it.
This I like. This was
your people are tempting me to. I mean, I can't. I'm not buying anything because I bagged the, the creator of the True Black Tarot.
I've got that deck.
They are coming out with a new one.
Are they?
And it's white and it's beautiful, and I bagged it. So all of my savings are gonna go to that deck for the upcoming few months, and I don't even care.
When that deck came out, I was really literally just new to tarot, and had a tiny and
hi, Ange. Thank you. Ange is lovely as well. I mean, if you don't know each other, you should know each other, because both of you are so lovely. So, I loved when I saw Tony in the comments, under your video. I was like, you're here too.
Oh, bless. No, I mean, I remember that the True Black coming out. I literally just got into tarot, and my poor husband, I inundated.
But I didn't get it. I didn't get it back then.
Well, it was like £75, and I'm saying to my husband, I really need this deck. I really need this deck. And he, bless him, he just went, oh, okay then, and he got it for me. And then he kind of fell in love with it. And I think it's quite a masculine deck. I haven't seen the new one.
People keep saying that, but I don't feel that. I think it's genderless. I mean, if anything, I know that people keep saying that, but for me, but I want to show you the new one. Wait, because why not?
What's the what I didn't know there was a what. See, this is what I mean. I spent my whole life in a cave.
It went live, I think, a few days ago.
I don't know it, to be fair. I don't know. I didn't know. But then I'm guessing if the first one was like £75, and that was when I first started, I dread to think, what is that? Ouch.
Look at that.
Oh, is it kind of the same images, but he's done it on a white then?
It's not the same images. It's
They're
similar
not.
style. It's similar, but
Right. It's very. It is
and
different.
I really liked the whole theme because
Ooh.
I talked to the creator a little, and it's about legacy and death and what you leave behind and loss and things like that. So I don't know, I just saw it and I was like, you know what, I regretted not getting the Tarot Through Kickstarter, the first one, because I got it with the help of wonderful people in the tarot community for a lot of money later. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have a birthday next year as well, so I'm gonna get this one myself.
Is there not somewhere? I mean, I don't have Facebook anymore, to be fair, but I'm sure there's somewhere that has where you can swap decks. Is there? I don't know.
Yeah, but no one ships to Hungary is under a rock. Nobody even knows where we are, and a lot of people don't ship to European countries from the US because the postage is horrible and takes ages, and so it's not as easy to get decks here. Actually, look at that.
Wow. Yeah, that
It's
is
beautiful.
good imagery, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not gonna pretend, and it's a queen. I'm assuming it's a queen of cups, because there are veils.
It's certainly going to be. It's got to be a water element, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
and it's beautiful. So I'm like, I need this one. I don't care. So it's gonna be my all the money that I saved up, which wasn't a lot. It's gonna be on.
You might know the answer to this quick, because this is how much of a cave dweller I am. I wanted one of the circular Uzi deck, but when I've bought all my decks from Uzi, but when I went on there, they weren't shipping to the UK.
Yeah.
So we seem to have been ousted. So
since Brexit,
yeah.
But I saw that for this campaign. Is not. I don't think it's shipping to the UK from the Kickstarter page, but the creator updated somewhere that it's gonna be sold to UK people through his Etsy shop. So if people want this deck from the UK, they can get it through the Etsy shop.
It's taken the world, Tony. It's Uzi. It's WZI, isn't it? I think.
I know the name, but I can't remember.
It's very and I saw this deck and it's kind of a playing cards deck. But what was I don't know this one. I'm trying to avoid new decks that are coming out.
I mean, I'm very good at window shopping, but this one was like, you know what, take my body, take my soul, I'm gonna sell a kidney, I don't care. Because I was like, you know what, I need something to look forward to that's gonna warm my soul. So I decided to just not give a shit, and because this is a deck that if I don't want to keep, I can sell it for a lot of money later, but it's not gonna happen because I love using the true black. So it's I can say I can tell myself that, but yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Oh, sorry, we missed you going, but bye, Claire, and thank you so much for being here.
You, Claire. Thank you for popping in.
Honestly.
But I did pick up a couple, and I'm not going to pull them out. But
cool.
From a witchy perspective, I did pick up the Witchlings, which is the Oracle deck.
Thank you. I want the Witchling looks so cute, but I'm not sure if it's like I have a lot of Oracle decks that has similar keywords, and I have her Joie de Vivre tarot, and I don't use it as much as I expected it to use. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't get it.
it's the book again. It's the little book because it does give you little things. Well, I suppose
Oh,
it's theoretically geared up, but I
yeah,
think it's lovely if you've got, you want to do a crystal clear. It tells you what to get put together and what have you.
yeah.
So I keep, and that's another good one for the budding witch because
Oh,
it
I
has
didn't know that
spell
one.
work in it, and quite often it is the books that make the decks.
Yes.
Medieval Hedge Witch Magic. This one is rated quite a lot, and the images. I mean, let me see if I can. Well, that's the back. I mean, most of these decks are probably well known to most people, but
I
they
mean,
are particular.
I didn't know half the decks you mentioned, so it's maybe not.
I know. Well, I know it's difficult, isn't it? You could go back through, and I realised I hadn't done a walkthrough of a deck I showed recently, and I was like,
Oh, cool.
oh, okay, well, there are out there, but what it does is it gives you a lot of information about the symbols on the card. But what's
Oh, that's cool.
particularly nice is it gives you like a little spell or a little charm or
Oh,
something to do.
that's good.
So that might be quite good for you, or so you might enjoy that
Yeah.
because it's
Okay.
it's kind of this is how many witchy kind of things most people know this deck, I think. Um,
I know the
and
artwork, yes.
and the old ways
But
magical.
yeah, I mean, you recommended a book, Modern Witchcraft, I think that's the title, and it's been shipped about a week or so, so I should get that soon. So, I want to start with that book and then see which deck I need.
I bought that for my daughter as well because
Oh, okay.
it is a lovely starter, and the compendium of witches
Oh,
is
yeah, that's a pretty
and the
one.
book, yeah. So there is a lot under the umbrella, and there's more that I haven't even got. I've noticed I've saved a few videos. Yeah, the Everyday Witch. I don't have it. We were talking about this
Yeah.
earlier, actually.
And
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and I told Giselle that I think I gifted this one to my sister because it was too witchy and I couldn't use it. So I'm like, maybe I should ask if she's using it and ask her if she doesn't to bring it back because I'm like, but at least it's not out of the family. It's, somewhere
Is
around
it?
near me. So,
I haven't. I to be fair, I haven't got it. I've got the Everyday Witch, but I haven't got the Oracle, and I didn't. Might be interesting. I need to. You've probably got a walkthrough on your channel, Tony. I need
yeah,
to go and have a little look. That's
has
my. I
to.
mean, I was saying to Orshi, this was one of the first decks that I got, and
Is the
I
everyday
do
witch.
love it. It's so good. It's just, but it is Rider Waite. You're not going to get away from this
Yeah,
Rider Waite. It
yeah,
is what it is.
but I mean, it's a, I think it's a way to ease people into what's
Absolutely,
more
absolutely.
than the
I
artiverse.
think it's well worth. I can't imagine anybody who got. Oh, she rehomed her Everyday Witch. Oh,
The
isn't it
Oracle.
interesting? No, the actual the tarot. My all
Oh,
time
bad. Okay.
ever favorite card ever in
Oh,
any
yeah,
deck. That
yeah.
is my absolute favorite.
And I really like the Chariot
I was
because
just I was
it's
looking.
modern and it's just shows what the card is all about
Yeah,
in such a cool way.
isn't it
Yeah.
brilliant? Isn't
And
it the best?
the dragons look really cool. So I
Yeah.
approve of the dragons in this deck
I think it's definitely.
and the
I mean,
cats.
I think death. I mean, look at death.
Yeah, I love that death card.
Yeah, it's
There was really interesting ones. And yeah, so about the Etsy thing, because people are saying things about Etsy and
what's about
value
yes.
and value added tax and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I understand, and for it's not like I'm gonna only pay the amount that Kickstarter is charging me next month. because my country has the highest value added tax in the whole region. So just imagine paying Etsy prices and charges for everything. So then you know what I am. So I completely understand that it's not an easy thing to just say that you're getting that deck, because it is expensive, you know. And I set an alarm to 2 a.m. in the morning so that I can get up, and I was like, maybe there's gonna be an early bird, you know, so I can get it cheaper. And I was lucky because there was. But I completely understand that, you know, that's why I only got the True Black like 2 years later, because I had to save up for it. It wasn't just something that I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it tomorrow. It's good if people can do that, but these days it's not easy. So yeah,
My
I
last
understand.
Il Meneghello deck was quite costly to post, and apart from the neoclassic,
Yeah,
which I would really like to get, I'm not going to be buying. Um, the cost is too much. It really
same.
is.
Yeah.
Just postage is crazy. I'm waiting. I just bought secondhand, and I did ask hubby first. Well, sort of first during, maybe slightly after, but somewhere around there. I was honest. And I said to him, I just wanted to get the Tarot of the Moon Garden. And
Oh,
I got a feeling it's been reprinted, so it's a bit clearer. But the one I got was an older deck, but it has got lost in the post. So yeah, I'm waiting for the guy
no,
to let me know. I got it on eBay, and there are some cheap
no.
ones around because I did not pay a lot of money for it. I wouldn't have been able to, but
Oh,
yeah, that was a bit gutting because I'm trying to lower my carbon footprint, and I
yeah,
thought I'd done really well. Got it
yeah.
really at a good price, and he was really sweet. I messaged him and said I haven't received it, so who knows? But other than that, I'm kind of no more decks really. Not. I need to work with what I've got, and
Same. I mean, I have so. I mean, I just started reading tarot a few years ago, and I have a collection of like an insane amount compared to the time. So it's not like I had enough time to work with all of my decks. So I sometimes I buy decks because I feel really shitty, and you know, sometimes things happen and I just need something to look forward to in the mail, and I'm not gonna lie about that. It works, you know.
it, but
And
when you buy
maybe
less, when you get that deck, it really is. The last deck I bought, I had for my birthday, so it's been a while. So I was really excited to get this deck because
hey,
I just haven't been buying any for so long. Whereas before you'd be like every other
yeah,
day. The
every
Amazon man
month I
was
got
like,
a deck, and you know, I was like, oh, maybe two, sometimes three if that was a good price, but things are not as, and I'm still in a really, you know, fortunate position, so I'm not complaining that, oh, I can't buy a tarot deck every month because let's just buy food first.
no, but I must admit,
But you know,
I'm using my decks more now
yeah, exactly.
because
And
definitely.
sometimes, you know, these, I mean, I bought the Wildwood
Oh, I
Wild
don't have
Unknown.
tin.
Yeah, and I this was a
Oh,
deck that, you know, everybody was always talking about. I looked at the artwork and I was like, you know what, I don't care for it. It doesn't speak to me. Why does everybody love this deck? And then I met a friend, because I have a few friends in you know, real life here, who has tarot decks, and we, you know, because we have a different collection, with when we meet we carry a bag full of tarot and we show each other, so we're like, oh, I want to see
that's
that.
good.
And that's, and
Yeah,
you know, I asked her to, you know, bring this because she had a copy, and you know, she loves it, and she loved yeah, she loves it. And I was like, as soon as I picked it up and I started looking through it, there was something there, and that was something that I didn't know, you know, before that. So
yeah. I
okay,
don't
bye
ever.
Beth, thank you so much for being here.
Nice to see you. I don't ever get the opportunity really to see decks in advance, unless I go to Glastonbury, and
Oh, I mean, I hope I can go, you know, like even though I want to go back to Scotland first. I really want.
I've
I'm
never
hoping
been.
next year.
I've never been to Scotland. If you come over, you've got to take me with you to Scotland. I want
I
to go
mean,
to Scotland so badly.
I want to go next year at least for a long weekend. I hope I can
A
save
long
up and
weekend.
go.
You
So
could fly over, I suppose, can't you?
yeah,
I suppose you
yeah,
you
yeah.
fly straight to
If you
Scotland.
want to meet there, if we can
Oh
arrange that,
God,
that would be awesome.
I would love to. I'm so would love to go to Scotland. I've Claire, is from up north, and I've never been past Cumbria. So I'm hoping eventually I will get up there. But
I hope.
Glastonbury is probably, or if I go to London, and I could go into
I've never
Watkins
been.
Books. So either, well, London, London's fascinating. My husband and I like to go up and walk around, but Watkins Books, I'd spend a fortune. I can't. I have books I haven't read. I've got books piled up. I've got tarot decks piled up.
Babe.
No more for me from here is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I guess for me it's easier because I go to the airport and then I fly into the country.
yeah.
It's easier because I'm somewhat, farther away. But I've never been to London. Obviously I would love to go because I want to just see. There are certain
A lot.
places that I want to
A
visit,
lot.
but I had the privilege to go and visit Scotland, and I always gush about it because I never felt so at home anywhere
Oh,
else.
how lovely! Yeah,
That
I
was
get
like, can I move here? Can I move? I'm at
that.
home. I need to come back. So yeah,
I went to Austria and I fell in love with Austria. I thought it
really,
was
I
so
didn't.
beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to beautiful places, but and it's not like Scotland was beautiful when I was visited. It was in the middle of April. Everything was still brown. There was just only a few green patches, but suddenly, for the time being, and that's why I keep saying that the country loves me back, because when I was there, suddenly the weather was wonderful. It was like 21 degrees. The
Oh yeah.
locals were all everywhere, half naked, in jumping into lakes, and I was like, you guys are crazy. It's not that warm. But it was beautiful, and like I said, I never felt so connected to a place through with my soul, I guess, even though it sounds so over dramatic. But and then I
No,
had to
I
come
totally agree. I
back, and I was
Scotland.
sitting on the airplane, and when we landed I was like, no, I don't want to do this. I just want to go. I'm like, I can't, I don't want to do this.
No,
So yeah.
I desperately want to get up there. We nearly got up for the tattoo, and we didn't get there in the end,
Ooh,
and that was a bit of a shame. We need to attempt a dark gathering next
what is
October.
that?
Oh yes, please. Yes,
What
I'd
is
love
that?
to. Boss Castle. It's See, the trouble is now I don't work, I don't have a car, and so I don't drive. So
Ah.
I'm like the snail version of it. And my kids say to me, "Why aren't you driving anymore?" And I'm like, "My husband is so pristine over his car. There is no way I am driving his car." But yeah, I do want to. I'd love to go, because didn't you go, Tony? I'm not quite sure. I can't remember whether you went to it or not, but I'd love to go. I also want to go to Pendle Hill. Who
As
doesn't
well,
want to
yeah.
go to Pendle Hill? I have Pendle Witches, um, and I haven't really tried. I always wanted to go to Ireland and Scotland. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to India.
I never
Always.
wanted to go to
Yeah.
India. Honest,
No.
it's so interesting. I never cared for India in that way. I mean, no, no offense or everything. I just don't care
Oh,
for
I'd
India.
love to go. I
I
can
know.
imagine how amazing the markets are with all their spices and all their
I don't
lovely
like. I
colours.
don't like the cuisine. I don't like the smell. So I imagine myself just finding a McDonald's somewhere. Like, give me something that I like to eat. So it would be so lost on me. It would, honestly. I would
You
just
don't
be
like
that
curries
idiotic.
at all?
No, no, I don't.
Really?
No, I
Wow.
don't. Yeah,
So
I
what was
think
that massive gathering celebrate? Oh
it's
yeah.
so different, yeah, from from the Hungarian cuisine. But
I don't really
I
know what
mean,
Hungarian food is.
oh, I mean, we can cook. I know that
Oh,
people in the UK try to act like you guys have a great cuisine, but I'm sorry to tell you, but
no,
we
we
don't.
don't. No, the English do not have a good. What?
No,
No, the English do not have a
no.
good
I mean,
cuisine. No.
I when I visited my sister in Scotland, we went for fish and chips because you
Oh
have to do
yeah. Well,
the.
yeah,
And I was
fish and
like,
chips.
this doesn't taste anything. What the hell is? Why am I supposed to be so over the moon? It's like, give me some spice so I can make it
It's called
better.
vinegar. You cover it with vinegar.
Yeah, no, 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 no. Everybody, if you
My
have a
husband,
chance to visit Hungary, like be prepared to eat your way
I'm going to come
through
and
the
stay
country.
with you then. We're all going to
Sure.
descend on you from the UK because now you've said that you can cook.
I mean, I can cook. Honestly, I'm a good cook, but I don't need to because my mom is an excellent cook. So if you have a chance to come, it's better for you because my mom is excellent. So I
Oh,
can, but
that's
I just like, why would I, like waste the time? And my mom is so much better.
and what's your favorite meal?
Ooh. Uh,
Yeah, you mentioned that, Tony. You mentioned about going to this massive gathering, and it sounds amazing. I would
maybe
really
pork
like to go.
minute.
What's this? Potatoes, pork with it. So I don't like sauerkraut.
I love it. I do love it.
It does. It tastes weird. I
Really?
thought I was going to love it because I bought some authentic one, and I'm like, I'm not
Ah.
sure about this. I don't
Yeah, but
know whether
maybe
I
it was
like it
too
or not.
authentic. It was like authentic and it's just like a market version.
Yeah,
Because,
I need to
like
try
with,
yours.
yeah, with Hungarian food, like people are like, oh, we had this lovely goulash. And I'm like, there are two distinguished, different food. And for some reason, the English name for both of them is the same. And I'm like, one of them is a soup, one of them is a stew, but a lot of people call both, and I'm like, it's not the same. So yeah,
I think that we probably have a lot to learn. I think the English cuisine is personally I think is not great, but we have adopted obviously other
yeah,
cultures like
obviously, yeah,
Indian and
yeah, I know, but I
but
just
I
don't.
mean
I like it too different from
haggis
Hungarian.
in
That's why I'm like,
Scotland.
no,
No, I wouldn't want to try haggis. No.
I would never do that. Like, if that's the price that I need to pay, then I'm sorry because I would just puke in the corner and the next. Like, I can't even try it. Like,
The
there is
worst thing is
a
blood
blood
pudding.
sausage here as well, and I'm like, I'm not eating that. Like,
No,
nope.
that there are some things that but my husband's a really fussy eater, so he doesn't like cheese and he won't eat
Oh,
mayonnaise or anything like that.
that's so
So
interesting.
we've
Poor
and he's
cheese.
quite a carnivore and I'm not. So we kind of we if I have
But
fish and
it's
chips,
good. You
I
can
smother it in
share.
vinegar.
You can share the food, and you eat certain part, he eats certain part. So it's very economical if you think about
We do manage, bless. But if I'm spraying everything with vinegar, he's like, keep that away from me. So.
it.
Coleslaw, no. I thought
Oh,
sauerkraut would be a bit like. See, I like gherkins. I love gherkins.
yeah.
I don't know how we've got from witchy cat tarot to food, but
Apps.
anyway.
It's
But
my.
yeah,
It's usually what happens. Food always just happens. But if you think about it, food is part of witchcraft. You do a lot of you put a lot of intention into your food, so it's magic
yeah.
anyway.
I think being for me, this is I think sometimes where it all kind of it comes together. People might think that your witchcraft is like all spell work or you wiggle your
Yeah,
nose and everything happens, but
and you
actually
need you need a pointy hat.
well my pointy where's my pointy hat.
I don't have one. I feel underdressed. Oh, look at that.
I need to actually bespoke it. Really, it's very very plain.
Yeah.
I tend to wear my dead man's hat quite a bit, but I
Ooh,
think I need to do some work on it. But
spiders or something like
when
flowers.
you're in the garden cleaning, gardening, or you're in the kitchen or whatever, you're still doing still doing it. Wait. What are the people on this planet that do not? Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
My
oh, look
husband
at the view.
cannot stand cheese.
We have some bots. Ooh.
What?
Someone
Oh,
already
have we
blocked.
got trolls?
It's a sex bot.
Adult dating site. Is there an adult witchy site?
I'm sure.
I think we need-
Unfortunately, I'm sure there is. So
have you got any moderators in for your?
I mean, I think somebody already blocked it because when I tried,
It's
it gave
already
me an
gone.
error. So I think someone.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
I mean, my channel usually doesn't attract bots. So I'm
No,
like,
I don't.
ooh.
I don't normally either. I think that's hilarious. I get
It's funny that
people.
we were talking about food.
Because it's got to be that sauerkraut that did it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's a calling word. Yeah.
I got
Really
I have two trolls who will regularly give me the thumbs down on any video that I put up. And
you should block them. I mean, honestly,
I don't know who they are. I don't think you can tell because it just gives you the thumbs down.
Just the. I have those as well.
I just said, my daughter said, you should be really proud. She said that somebody takes the time to actually give you the thumbs down. So there you go.
I mean, when it first happened to me, it was kind of funny because it was on it was on a deck, and they both thumbed down the flip through of it, and the walkthrough said they must have hated the deck. And I was like, why do you look out a deck that you actually hate just to be like, I hate this deck, I hate this deck? So I'm like, what's the point?
I don't get why YouTube do it, but I think Tony's probably right. There's something to do with algorithms in there, because I can remember the amazing oh god, her name's gone from my head now, but she was an amazing YouTuber that hasn't been putting out videos for a long time now, and of course I can't remember her name. Veronica Jude. And I remember her saying that she and her channel is still up there. And I would say, please go and check her out, because although she doesn't put videos up anymore, she was one of the most inspirational YouTubers I found at the time. And she said one day that she literally, somebody had gone through all her videos and given her a thumbs down. So there you go.
Honestly, when you have that much time.
Yeah, I know.
You should read a book.
But yeah, cheese is not a swear word for me, but then I do love all types of cheese, but my husband cannot stand
I don't like cheese with what's it called? The blue cheese and stuff like that. I'm like,
oh no, I love that.
I don't. Why do you put like things that are rotten? You shouldn't put mold on cheese and be like, woohoo, I have moldy cheese. Yeah.
Oh, the richer the better. And my husband's like, for God's sake, that's going to walk out the fridge in a minute.
Exactly. It's going to crawl and slumber. And
yeah. Veronica Jude is one of my all-time heroes on YouTube. And
I don't think I even heard about it, but I will check.
It's what I liked about her channel was it wasn't just walkthroughs, but she did talk about how she worked with certain decks, and she was so passionate. I think she's got a deck of her own out, but cool. I don't think she's been doing them for a long time. So there's so many of us that seem to come and go, but she never came back. But
people. I mean, sometimes I get comments and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this comment now? Because there was one.
I don't get comments. I don't.
Yeah, sometimes I get weird ones.
Only the thumbs down. Yeah, no.
I mean, I honestly love that YouTube doesn't show you if you don't want to see that necessarily, because I don't care. If I start really thinking about, if people are like my videos or not, then it leads to a place where I don't want to go. But I love when people leave comments, because I'm like, okay, someone watched the video and they like it. So,
Tony's right. Nicoletta Ciccoli. I mean, it's why I did my Nicoletta Ciccoli video, because of Dawn Michelle from Boho.
Now Michelle
And
is very, very dangerous because you're
she
like,
was, when I first knew her, she was a tiny little channel, and
she's
she
so
just went.
lovely.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but so well deserved. And
she's
I,
lovely, absolutely lovely.
yeah,
Some
and
amazing
I
channels.
honestly, I'm always so surprised when she watches my videos, and I'm like, oh, I'm a tiny channel, and like, but she's such a nice person, and I love that. Because
She is
just because you have a
lovely.
channel
She is.
that blown up doesn't mean you're not the same person. And I think that she's a really good example that you can just be the same kind and interesting person even if you have tens of thousands of people following you now. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's that interaction and sharing. It's
Yeah,
there's some amazing
I mean
YouTube channels out there.
that's my favorite bit, these conversations. Like, I have an excuse, and I'm always surprised when people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come on your channel and we can talk. And I'm like, oh cool, because this is the most fun that I have when I talk to people, and I just love it. People are here, we're having a lovely conversation, we're laughing our heads off because it's just fun. Okay, but I think we should finish
Oh,
soon because
bless.
we're
Yeah,
more than, I mean, I wanted to go
you're
for an hour, but
freezing on me.
see, it's a sign. I was just saying that we should finish, and then I froze on you. So I think it's a sign. And
Yeah.
I still need to take some medicine for my cold anyway. So I'm gonna stop blabbering. And thank you so much, Giselle. Honestly, to be here, for being here. I can't really speak anymore. Please subscribe to her channel. It's linked in the description, and check out her Cluedo, or how do you say that in the new version. Video, because that was so much fun, and I'm gonna film like a little murder on my channel soon as well. But hope this was useful. I know that I'm gonna watch it back and make a lot of notes about decks that you mentioned, which is like dangerous, but yeah. And maybe she froze all the way together, I think so. Yeah. I'm gonna just finish, and thank you so much everyone for being here. Thank you so much for watching the replay, and see you in the next